So what lies ahead for Recep Tayyip Erdogan after winning the Turkish presidential election in that tight second round? Beating his rival Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu with what many have called a pretty comfortable margin, Erdogan's win actually came as no surprise to many close observers of Turkish politics. But as Erdogan celebrates his victory, let's take a look at 5 urgent challenges that he'll face as he begins his third term as Turkey's president. Challenge number 1, the economy. Turkey had already been facing a severe financial crisis before the election, with the Turkish lira having lost over 90% of its value in the past decade. A problem triggered and exacerbated by Erdogan's unorthodox policy of cutting interest rates, which has already driven away many foreign investors. And just before those runoff elections, Turkey's central bank reported negative net foreign exchange reserves for the first time since 2002. Challenge number 2, Turkey's 2024 municipal elections. Erdogan sees these as a vote of confidence and is calling on his supporters to work towards recapturing major cities like Istanbul, Ankara and Antalya, which were lost to the opposition in 2019. It'll be a tough one, but he's got a chance if the opposition fails to maintain its unity and support from Kurdish voters. Challenge number 3, and something on the mind of many people in Turkey, the refugee policy crisis. The presence of 3.7 million Syrian refugees in the country has become a major issue, particularly emphasized by the opposition. And hostility towards Syrians has been on the rise since 2020, when Turkey's economic difficulties began to be felt by the general public. And so far, Erdogan said he doesn't plan on deporting Syrians en masse, considering this inhumane and un-Islamic. He has, however, emphasized his support for a voluntary return policy, but if the economic situation continues to worsen, tensions may possibly rise further. And challenge number 4, reconciliation with Syria. So beyond the question of refugees, ties between Damascus and Ankara are also crucial, given Turkey's military presence in northern Syria and Bashar al-Assad's need for international recognition and a trade route. Erdogan also wants Assad to take action against Syrian Kurdish armed organizations that Ankara considers terrorists. Erdogan also wants to reach a deal that would lead to a constitutional change in Syria that incorporates the Syrian opposition into the state. And number 5, but probably not the last of Erdogan's challenges, Sweden's NATO membership. Turkey has so far been reluctant to ratify Sweden's NATO membership, complaining that it wasn't doing enough to combat terrorism, referring to Stockholm's hosting of wanted Kurdish figures. So the US got involved and proposed Swedish membership as a condition for the sale of F-16 fighter jets to Turkey, despite Turkey being skeptical of its application. So what do you think are some other things that Erdogan has to address in his next 5 years as Turkey's president?